most of you probably know I went home for a week to New Jersey, where I'm originally from, for my brother's graduation and my best friend's birthday. And I didn't think about school at all. And that, I left the day after my last work day. So that was the start of my summer in New Jersey. And I've been back since Thursday, and it's Sunday now. So for this weekend, and so I went home and didn't think about school at all. Just like shut it off and started summer. And now that I'm back in North Carolina, you know my brain is running. So I put this together, I believe the Friday that I was back. And this is going to be my alphabet. And I had a lot of trials and tribulations with sizes of letters and stuff, and you guys helped me out on my Instagram. But what I ended up doing was 1 letter per page, because that left more space between the piece itself and the letter and the one next to it, because I'm going to connect these like a board game, and I needed a little bit of space between the letters. And the original way I did it was more like this. I just felt they were too close and the kids would not see the separate letters as well. I am going to still have the go as the start. I'm going to have to print that out. And as you can see here, I started with brown because that's the color that Monopoly does start with. However, I never got to the blue and the green, and those are just more fun colors. So I just did it in reverse instead. And you can probably tell I kind of put the extra pieces wherever I wanted, and I mixed things up just a tad, and I didn't use the square corners for the Monopoly board because I wanted it to be more, the word, fluid? I don't know. The bulletin board border I showed you before just used the skinny pieces as well. So I moved a few around. I know they're all not in the right places, but I wanted Waterworks with the W, I wanted Community Chest with the C, at least for that one, because it was with the B, and it just was a little bit weird. Now I know that all of them don't fit with what they're with, but the idea was the Monopoly board game and not to have the letters match the meaning. So my vowels are in red, my consonants are in blue, and I'm going to print these out to see what they look like. Hey guys, so sorry about the lighting. It's like 9:30 now, and this is just my catch-all room, and I need to work on cleaning it this summer, but I also need to work on, well, just organizing what's in here, and most of it is the stuff I'm gonna bring back to my classroom. So I made an Instagram post today about the Iris scrapbooking cases. They were on sale for $3 at Michael's, and I went and bought 9 of them because I found last year that I had trouble when I would create centers, and then I wouldn't have a place to like store them safely. So I got a different box for every different like kind of unit. Like I have a fractions box, a multiplication box, a division box, a place value box. So I'm gonna start printing my centers, and as I make them over the summer, I'm just going to keep them in those boxes. And also in my classroom, I'm going to keep them in those boxes until I'm ready to use them. Then I'm going to move them to my centers drawers. So that's what I'm working with right now, in the dark basically. Hey guys, so this is just my attire over the summer. Really huge, enormous t-shirts that don't fit me. My hair is usually up and out of my face, and no makeup, which has been pretty okay because I've been going to the gym, obviously, and eating really well. So that impacts my skin tremendously. But anyway, there's my golf clubs back there. I feel like this video is just gonna be a hodgepodge of random days, but I've been updating you guys on my Instagram a lot on my story, and not much vlogging has actually been happening. So today's Wednesday, and I've officially, I feel like I've only been home for summer for 3 days, kind of like on my own, because The first week of summer I was in New Jersey, so that's obviously like not my actual house anymore. I couldn't really clean and make things for my classroom because I was home visiting family and friends and going along with everyone else's schedules because I didn't have a car, and so that I didn't really count as like my home for the summer kind of deal. And then right when I came back, it was Thursday night and my boyfriend has off on Fridays. So we had the 3-day weekend together. So since then, he's been at work every day this week, and I've tried to start a schedule for myself. I've been making my bed every day, which is insane. And actually, I want to show you something. So I purchased this new quilt, and I've never had a quilt before. And quilts in the summer, oh my goodness, like it's super thin and it's just the perfect layer for the summer. So I got this from Target, and it came with the quilt, the shams, and then those two decorative pillows, which is awesome. And then another thing I wanted to tell you guys, this bed skirt isn't actually a bed skirt at all. It's a comforter. That was our old comforter, and it's very like, I just don't recommend a white comforter because it has just changed color over time. So that's what we were using, and I was just gonna get rid of it. And I wanted a bed skirt so bad for this bed, but bed skirts are so insanely expensive, it's ridiculous. So when we were putting the new stuff on, I'm like, wait, why don't we use the comforter as a bed skirt? Ta-da! I think it looks awesome. So I'm really excited. But yes, I love this quilt, and I just bought a sign to go over the bed, and I just cannot wait until it comes in. It's like this long wooden frame, and it says, "You will forever be my always," and I'll show you guys when it gets here. I'm really looking forward to that. And yes, we have 2 different bedside tables. That was my boyfriend's, and this came from my best friend from college along with that. And that's literally the furniture that we have in our bedroom. But I mean, it's what like it's fine. It's what we need. If you want to see, this is my closet. So that's where all of my clothes are, because in those drawers is just smaller stuff. And my boyfriend uses the closet in the second bedroom. His choice, not mine, but I mean, I need my own closet. I'm a little ridiculous when it comes to shopping, which, by the way, I want to start a Poshmark because, and I kind of already have, like I signed up for an account and everything because I have so many clothes that just don't fit me anymore. When I was the size of a meatball, I was looking back at my old videos, which are now privated. I gained a lot of weight back then. So a lot has changed since then, and it's good for me. It's good for all of us, but those clothes are just massive on me now. So I need to get rid of them. Look out for my Poshmark if I do start one. Okay, so the point of me showing you that, I think, was because I was talking about how I've tried to get myself into a schedule where I make my bed every morning. I make myself coffee and a good breakfast, an omelet with peppers and fat-free cheddar because that's all 0 points, and potatoes. And then when that settles a little bit, after I like watch a show or something, I just finished 13 Reasons Why, and some of the episodes it was very hard to watch. I'm really glad that I made it through and that that's over with, and now I can watch happy shows, I guess. So if you guys have any Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime suggestions for either movies or TV shows or books, because I am reading and I've been going to the library, let me know down below. But then after I do that, I go to the gym. I do the elliptical for 25 minutes. That's all I've been doing my whole weight loss journey since January. I've been wanting to add a little bit to it, but I don't know. It's just, I feel good about what I'm doing and it's working, so I don't want to push myself more than I need to. So then I come home and I'll shower, do some laundry, wash the dishes, whatever needs to be done. And then I will start making some centers. So right now I'm really focusing on math centers. Since I taught math last year, even though it was 4th grade and I'm moving down to 3rd grade, I know how I want my math classroom to work and I know what I want out of centers. So a while back on Teachers Pay Teachers, I bought 2 different centers bundles, one from Blair Turner and one from Game for Gains. I'll link them both down below. The one from Blair Turner I thought was going to be just like the 4th grade one I bought from her last year. I don't know if I bought the wrong one or if it's the only one she has, but it's the 3rd grade test prep centers bundle. And they aren't, like, they're pretty great, but her other, like the 4th grade bundle I had from her was much better. So I've been working on that bundle right now. Last year, I made the mistake of buying things on Teachers Pay Teachers and printing out every page on printer paper and putting it in a binder as if I was gonna go look through that binder and do something with it. So this year, I've just been printing out the centers and making them. And then I bought 9 Iris scrapbooking cases, and that's how I'm storing the centers. I labeled them like fractions, multiplication, division, geometry, and whatever topic it goes with, I put it in that box. And I think that's gonna work really well because last year I didn't really have a place to store the centers I wasn't using. I put them in a drawer, a different drawer in my colorful drawers, but it wasn't organized. I've printed NBT, I've printed OA, and now this is NF, fractions. I printed it all out, mostly on colored cardstock. I ran out of laminating pouches, so I have to wait till Friday because I went to Office Max, Office Depot, and I think I saw one of my students, so I ran and hid for a little bit, got a little bit of anxiety, and then I left and didn't go to the section I needed to. I'm just, like, I love my kids, but first of all, like, no makeup, which doesn't matter, but like huge t-shirts, shorts, like my hair was still wet from my shower. I was just, and I hate, like, I don't know what to say. Like, hi, how's your summer going? But then, like, when do you end the conversation? Do I give her a hug? Like, what do I don't know. It's just sometimes a weird situation, so I just avoided it. And then I went to Staples near me and laminating pouches. It was like $19.99 for 150, I think. No, I think it was like 20 something. It was a lot. 27 maybe. And I'm like, no. So I came home and I ordered on Amazon $13 for 200, and I actually bought 400 because I do go through them fast. So they will be here Friday. But someone on my last video or on my Instagram or somewhere told me that you don't have to laminate cardstock. If you laminate printer paper, it comes out the same. So I gave it a shot, and this is printer paper, but let me show you the difference. It's still flimsier, so I would still go for the cardstock because it is sturdier, but this does, like, the laminate makes it thicker and makes it better quality, but I wouldn't do this every time because these things probably won't last as long as the cardstock versions. So it does work. So I've printed everything from the bundle, and what I'm doing now is cutting it out either with my paper cutter. This is the Friskers one. I bought this last summer. This and my laminator, which is back there, the Scotch laminator, just the basic one. Best purchases I've ever made. And scissors if I need them. This is what I'm doing, and when I go to organize them in the boxes, I will show you guys. Okay, so I've cut and put in baggies all the little pieces. That one card went a little sad. I mean, I could throw away that piece. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But anyway, I just love how Blair Turner has incorporated every aspect of fractions. So like I said, I was working on the fractions stuff today. So here is my case for fractions. I'm going to open it up. And I'm gonna place these things inside. Now I didn't print the directions with all of them. I started doing that, but they're more teacher directions. They're not student directions. So I decided to go against that, and if I need to see what the game is, I could just go back into my file. But these cards were just for Go Fish game or a memory match game. So fraction models there. Then she gives you some printables of Cuisenaire rods, which is awesome. I don't have any in my classroom. I know we do have larger ones for the 3rd grade, but I just went ahead and printed 4 sets. So if I want the kids to use them, I have them and they're all cut up and ready to go. But with the Cuisenaire rods, it was task cards. So in this test prep bundle, her task cards are only 1 through 8. I printed the task cards, and then I printed the answer keys, and the actual page where the kids are going to write down their answers looks very similar to this. But I didn't print that because I would print that if I were to use this center. So I'm gonna put all of that just in a stack together, and I know it's kind of gonna get mixed up, but at least all of the fraction pieces will be in this one bin. Another really cool one she has is Don't Stop Comparing, DJ Funk Master Fraction, and there's a bunch of different fraction boards, and these circles go with a brad in the middle, and you line up the fractions and you compare them on the mats over here. And I thought that was really unique and different. So I'm excited to use that in the classroom. I don't have any brads at home, so I'll have to wait till I get to school to put those on. Then there's number line bingo. So we have models, we have Cuisenaire rods, and now we have number lines, which is awesome because sometimes, especially with stuff you buy on Teachers Pay Teachers, I feel like you don't see the variety that the kids need. So I really appreciate that she's showing the models in all the different ways that the kids are going to see it. So basically there's 4 different bingo boards, and I'm gonna put those in the bin. And the cards here are just a little number line, and the kids have to figure out what fraction the arrow is pointing to, and then they can cover it up on their board. So for little pieces like these that go with the game itself, I'm not putting in my photo cases. I want to put more task card type things in here, and I know that I have a task card set that I just put in here, but I think I'm going to have larger ones. So, and then I have more fraction models, and there's a ton in here, so I have to look through this again. And I might print this page in a different color because I realized after the fact that like putting this on the same color is not going to be very eye-catching. But she has a lot of scales, which I find really interesting, and I really like the concept. So they basically just have to balance out the fractions. They have to be equal to each other, and here is where they write their answers. Now, I don't have the kids, or I'm not going to have the kids write on this laminate, because what I found this year is even with using Expo markers and even with just using black ones, like it just does not do good for the laminate. So I have a ton of the dry erase sleeves. I'll post a picture, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. So when I pick a game to put into the centers, I'm just gonna slide it in there, and I'm laminating them because it's just going to help them last longer. They're not actually gonna physically write on this. And my original goal before I even started centers, ooh, the lighting in here is so good today, wow. Before I started centers, I wanted my kids to fill this out and take a picture of it and post it to Google Classroom and like submit their centers work for the day. Unfortunately, I think that's a little bit harder to do if you don't have iPads, because the iPad you could lift up and hover it over the board itself. Whereas with the Chromebooks like we do have, you need to pick up the thing and take a picture of it, which they can still do. I might incorporate that in some way to be that extra accountability piece, but these games, the way that I particularly hold my students accountable is I try to walk around while they're completing centers and just make sure that they're actually physically playing the game correctly. Maybe ask them a few questions while they're doing it. And I also, at the end of class, pick random kids and ask them what they worked on. But I do have other centers where my accountability piece is actually a factor. So games were never that accountability piece, if that makes sense. But I'm trying to think of ways that they could be as well, that I can hold my students accountable in every single station. So anyway, I just put all of those in there and close it up. And then there's plenty of room to add to that container. Hey guys, so I went to the place that I like least in the world today, Walmart, and I bought some Georgia Pacific card stock. Now, I believe I showed you guys before that the printer paper with the lamination doesn't work as great as I like, and this paper was only $4.88 for a pack of 150. So I got 4 of them, and I'm going to print another centers bundle today. I got the Games for Gains 3rd grade centers, and I think my brightness is really high right now. Okay. I got the Games for Gains 3rd grade centers pack, and this one has a lot more board games and a lot less cutting, and they also have color. So what I'm gonna do is print each standard out on the white cardstock, and then by the time my laminating pouches come tomorrow, I will be able to have that all ready to be laminated. I have 2 more standards that I need to print for the Blair Turner pack, which I've been working on, but I just got really excited for this one, so I think I'm going to do this one first. And this one doesn't have any cutting, like I said, so that's a lot more appealing probably to a lot of people. So of course these links will be down below. Hey guys, so it's been a few days since I've vlogged. I think I've said before, but my boyfriend has off on Fridays, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, my mind is just completely off of school. I'm just kind of really in summer mode, which is nice. And then when I'm home alone all day for the rest of the week is when I really dedicate myself to getting things done around the apartment and for my classroom, because I have all this time, so I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use it wisely, and this is going to help me so much throughout the year when of course my battery's gonna die, when I'm wanting to do centers and I already have all of this stuff pre-made. Okay, so a couple things have happened since the last time I filmed. I don't even really remember when it was, but I ran out of laminating packets. I ran out of ink a day later. I ran out of cardstock. So I ran out of cardstock before I ran out of ink. So I went to Walmart, got the Georgia Pacific, I believe it's called, cardstock. I got 4 packs, 150 pages each. And I came home and I'm like, all right, I'm going to print all my Games for Gains centers because I bought that 3rd grade center bundle as well. And I'll show you some of those in just a moment. I started printing and then I ran out of ink. And normally HP Instant Ink is amazing about getting you the ink even before you run out, but the day before, like after I had been printing for a while, I disconnected my printer, and so it didn't contact HP to send me the ink. So then I had to wait over the weekend to get it, which is completely fine, but it's here. So I swapped that out, and my original goal was to be done with the 2 center bundles that I bought from Teachers Pay Teachers, to have them prepped and ready to go and laminated and cut before I left for New Jersey, because I am going back to New Jersey today. My boyfriend actually has off for 4th of July and the 2 days after that. So we were like, well, why don't we do something? And in a few weeks, towards the end of July, we're going on like a week-long beach vacation. So we really didn't want to spend any money. So instead, we're just going to spend money on gas and go home to my family and visit them, because he didn't come with me last time. And there's going to be a bunch of stuff to do since it's 4th of July and everything. So I'm really looking forward to that. So anyway, I went to Office Depot and Staples, and I was looking for laminating pouches, and they are so expensive in stores, which I don't understand at all. I mean, I guess because it's the convenience. But these are the ones that I get from Amazon. The Fellows Thermal Laminating Pouches, 3mm, and they are super thick. They are very comparable to the Scotch brand, and I'm really happy with them. And it's $13 for a pack of 200, and they're always, I think, they're always that price. So you never have to wait for them to go on sale. So I bought 2 packs of the 200. That way I would have them. And then I had to wait for my ink to come in. So then my ink finally came yesterday, and today my plan was to get all of my centers done before my boyfriend got home from work, because he's on his way home right now and we're leaving to drive to New Jersey. I slept in a lot because I was up until 2 a.m. last night, so I slept in until like 10, which is not normal for me at all, and I'm like falling back into this terrible pattern, and I don't want to do that because I wanted to go to the gym today too, and I couldn't do that. But here's the thing. I printed out all my Games for Gains centers. Basically, they're a bunch of just different board games that you don't need to cut out. So I love them so much. And there's a bunch for every standard. Like, I literally have so many pages. So I got 2 sets laminated. So like, I got all the fraction stuff laminated and all of the OA stuff laminated, I believe. And then the NBT stuff, I'm really mad because I don't know why it's numbers within 10,000, and literally every single game, it has the paper and then the answer key. Every single game is within 10,000. Common Core, like, I thought, because North Carolina is changing their standards for next year, so I thought maybe they used to go up to 10,000, but they never did. So Games for Gains, I'm really disappointed. So I didn't laminate this set. I'm going to like see if I can change it somehow, or what I may actually do is change it on my computer, and that'll take a lot of copying and pasting, and it'll be pretty annoying, but that's okay. And then I'm going to print it on the back of it and maybe use these as like enrichment activities for my higher kids to go higher. I just am really disappointed. I thought maybe only a couple of them did, but after I printed them out, I realized that they all go to 10,000. But 3rd grade only goes within 1,000. That's that. I wanted to turn my laminator off like 30 minutes before I left. That way it can cool down and I feel safe leaving my apartment. So I have, like I said, 2 sets are done. And then I have all of the, what is this? This is the measurement stuff. All of the measurement is in the pouches, ready to be laminated. I have all the geometry that I need to put in the pouches to be ready to be laminated, which I won't have time to do, but I'm just gonna keep all that together. And then I'll be done with those centers, but then I gotta fix these. So 2 are done, 3-ish to go. Something else I did yesterday, which I don't know, I just got in the zone and kept going. Our new like pacing guides, and not really curriculum, but more pacing guides came out. So like I said, North Carolina is changing back to standard course of study. I don't know if it was ever called that in other places, but that's what it was before Common Core. It basically still is Common Core. They've just taken out a few things or shifted a few things. Rounding is not a standard anymore, and it's like looped in with estimation, but I don't think it's really like a focus. I think it's just like an extra skill that we could teach the kids. So different things like that. I literally read through the entire pacing guide and the entire unpacking guide of the standards. Like, here it is, 25 pages. I read through all of this, and that was just math. I haven't looked at ELA yet, but my plan is to look at ELA once I'm back from New Jersey, but I may have to finish up some other math stuff first. I feel like a pro at the math now. And then I set up my plan book, and I set up my planner. Actually, I put in like when we have no school and filled out all those dates. So this is like overview of the month. It's really cool. I like it. And I took some notes in my planner and online. Like, I did a bunch of different stuff. I set up my plan book online. I put those dates in the plan book, and then I started planning math. I got the entire Magic of Math, whatever it is, Amy Lemon's Hope King bundle. And I'm so excited because the reason I really got it was just for the mini lesson ideas and the activities, because it's so engaging, and that's just the way I love to teach. And I don't want to suck all my creative juices out. Like, I would be so dehydrated. So they just have so many good, interactive, engaging ideas for mini lessons instead of just sitting and writing notes. So I started looking at that and plugging it into my plan book and making it work for me. And I feel like I'm going to do that on the road today, and I'm really excited. That is where I'm at with everything. So I need to clean all this up. My boyfriend's about to be home and I need to be ready to leave. So yeah, I think I'm going to make a little like travel vlog. Be on the lookout for that. I plan to put this old vlog up before that. So I guess I'm just gonna end it here. I want to do a question and answers video. There are gnats, what the heck? Like fruit flies, I don't know, I need to get rid of them. I wanna do a Q&A. So I have 2 questions so far. Leave me questions that you guys want me to answer down below so I can also make that video once I get back. And I will see you next time. Bye.